Hello everyone, Jeff Duncan, Josh Katzenstein, and welcome to the playoff edition of the Dat Chat Prediction Show, where we make our picks for the upcoming NFL weekend. All right, I think the best matchup is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. I know that's going to surprise you, but I think there's a mental edge for the Saints in that game. If Dallas wins and they get to come into the Superdome, and the Saints will have revenge on their minds. I know it's a difficult matchup for them. We saw that when they played in Dallas, but I like the mental edge of playing a team that just beat you 4 or 5 weeks ago, as opposed to playing a team like Seattle they haven't played all year, or Philadelphia, who they easily beat. So give me the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Saints would handle them easily in the divisional round.
So I can see we're already going to disagree on everything today. The best matchup for the Saints would be the Seahawks. I just don't believe in that Seahawks defense. It's not the same group that we've been used to seeing under Pete Carroll. Obviously, Russell Wilson, is a scary player to face in the playoffs, but I just think the Saints' run defense should be able to limit that Seahawks offense. I don't really think any of their receivers, should give the Saints too many problems, and I think that would be a pretty easy win for the Saints. Well, Jeff, as I said, we'll disagree on everything because I think the Cowboys would be the worst matchup for the Saints. Obviously, Dallas has already beaten the Saints. I think their linebackers would pose problems for the Saints offense once again, as it did in that Week 13 matchup, just because the Saints thrive with that short and intermediate passing game, and I think the Cowboys linebackers are so good at limiting those plays that I think the Saints would have problems. Defensively, it's a good matchup for the Saints because I think that Marshawn Lattimore could probably limit Amari Cooper, and their run defense could probably contain Ezekiel Elliott to some extent, but I just think that Dallas defense is probably the toughest one that the Saints could face.
I really think, opposite of you, the Seattle Seahawks are a tough matchup. They've been playing extremely well down the stretch. If you look at their last half of the season, they've only had one really bad game. They are a team on the come. I think they've got a lot of momentum right now. I think they've got a lot of confidence. And if they go into Dallas and win, which they'd have to do, obviously, to play the Saints, that's going to give them even more confidence. They're used to playing in chaotic, loud environments out in Seattle. And with a seasoned quarterback like Russell Wilson, he gives them a puncher's chance to match the Saints in the Dome. All right, prediction time, Josh. I think we both agree, actually, on the one NFC Wildcard game. We both think the Bears are going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Chicago. I think that one goes without saying. But we're disagreeing on the other game, as obvious by our predictions a second ago. Why do you think Dallas is going to win that game?
I just really don't trust the Seattle defense as well as the Seahawks have been playing recently. I just think that Ezekiel Elliott is probably going to have a big game. The big difference in this matchup compared to when they faced off in Week 3 is having Amari Cooper, and I think that is going to make it much more difficult for the Seahawks to slow down the Dallas offense. And as I said, I really like that Dallas defense.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of pressure on Dallas to win this game. They haven't won a playoff game in a long time. They're at home. Expectations are huge in Dallas. I think that could flip on the Cowboys. If they get down early, you got an inexperienced quarterback like Dak Prescott going against that very, very talented Seattle defense. I think if Seattle gets up early, and I think Pete Carroll knows that, the pressure flips to Dallas, and I think they'll implode. They usually do implode. They're the Dallas Cowboys. So give me Seattle in the upset. Thanks for joining us on our Dat Chat podcast prediction show. And don't forget, you can download the podcast on NOLA.com, iTunes, and Spreaker.
And on Thursdays, you can watch our Dat Chat live show on Facebook at 11 a.m. and enjoy the games.